Stop caring how you feel. Because the moment you start living by discipline instead of emotion, you become untouchable. You stop being a slave to moods and start being the master of your destiny. Every man who has ever built something great, every man who has stood above the rest, had one thing in common: they acted when they didn't feel like it. Discipline isn't about passion. It's not about excitement. It's about consistency. It's about doing the thing over and over, long after the feeling that started it is gone. The gym, the grind, the work, it's all war, not against others, but against your own comfort, against your own weakness. You think it's about motivation. Motivation fades. It's a spark. Discipline is the fire that never dies. Discipline burns even when it's cold. Discipline works even when the world sleeps. Discipline gets up when your body screams to stay down. You've got to kill the man who waits to feel ready. You've got to bury the version of yourself that only moves when it's easy, because greatness demands blood. Greatness demands you show up when every cell in your body tells you to quit. Stop caring how you feel, because your feelings are not truth. They are comfort disguised as reason. They are the lies that whisper, "Rest, you deserve it." You don't deserve rest until the work is done. Weak men obey that whisper. They hit snooze. They scroll. They eat. They relax. They surrender. And every time they surrender, they lose a piece of their soul. But the strong man, the disciplined man, he silences that whisper. He looks it in the eye and says, "Not today." He does the work. He bleeds. He fights. He earns. You don't get stronger from comfort. You don't evolve in peace. Evolution is born from pain, from resistance, from repetition. You want to grow. Then walk into the fire. Face the pain. Stop looking for balance. Stop chasing comfort. Start chasing the version of yourself that doesn't quit. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one will push you. No one will motivate you. No one will drag you to greatness. It's all on you. You versus you. You versus that voice inside that says, "Not now." You versus the weakness that's been holding you down since the beginning. And you win by taking action. You win by executing. You win by not negotiating with your feelings. You want to be powerful. Be disciplined. You want to be respected. Be consistent. You want to be free. Be ruthless with yourself. Because freedom isn't doing what you want. Freedom is doing what must be done whether you want to or not. Stop caring how you feel. You're tired. Good. Work anyway. You soar. Good. That means you're growing. You scared. Good. That means you're stepping outside the cage. Every excuse you feed gets stronger. Every time you surrender, weakness wins. Every time you act in spite of your emotions, strength wins. You were not made to live soft. You were made to fight, to conquer, to push through pain and rise above the ashes. You were made to move forward when others freeze. You were made to rise when others fall. Your feelings are not your allies. They are your enemies. They are chains disguised as comfort. And every time you obey them, those chains tighten. Every time you break them, you get closer to freedom. That's the war every day, every hour, every second. The war between who you are and who you could be. You think life is waiting for you. It's not. The world moves fast. It rewards the disciplined. It forgets the emotional. You want to be remembered. Stop living like the rest. Stop being another man lost in comfort, scrolling his dreams away, eating his potential into the grave. You want to stand out. Then stop caring how you feel and start executing. When it rains, train. When you're tired, move. When you fail, rise. You think the world respects comfort. It respects results. And results belong to the man who keeps showing up. Every scar is a story. Every ache is a reminder. Every victory is proof that you refuse to bow. The world doesn't care about your emotions. It cares about what you built. So build something. Build your body. Build your mind. Build your empire. You'll never feel ready. You'll never feel perfect. You'll never feel strong enough. But none of that matters, because discipline doesn't wait for permission. Discipline moves regardless. There's power in action, power in movement, power in momentum. The weak hesitate, the strong execute. The strong act before doubt has time to speak. Stop caring how you feel, because feelings are fleeting, but legacy is forever. You'll bleed, sweat, and hurt. But every drop of pain is proof that you're alive, proof that you're fighting, proof that you're building something real. Weak men chase comfort. Strong men chase purpose. Weak men wait for motivation. Strong men move regardless. Comfort kills. Purpose revives. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop negotiating. You either do the work or you don't. You either move or you stay stuck. You either rise or you rot. The choice is yours, and it always will be. And when you stand in front of the mirror, there's no one else to blame. It's not your parents, not your boss, not society. It's you, the man looking back, the one who either acts or hesitates. You say you want greatness. Prove it. You say you want success. Earn it. You say you want change. Create it. Because the world isn't moved by words. It's moved by action. Action speaks louder than pain. Action crushes fear. Action silences doubt. You are not your feelings. You are what you repeatedly do. So do execute. Move. Turn your back on comfort. Burn the bridge to laziness. Make discipline your religion. Make consistency your weapon. Make pain your ally. When you walk into a room, let people feel your presence. Not because you talk loud, but because you live loud. Because your actions roar louder than their excuses. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't hand out greatness. It rewards those who take it. You've got to take it. With sweat, with blood, with discipline. Stop caring how you feel. Start caring about what you do. Because your future self is watching. And every choice you make is either feeding your greatness or feeding your weakness. One day, you'll wake up and realize your life is the sum of your decisions. Will it be discipline or emotion, power or weakness, action or regret? You decide, because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It only cares if you showed up. And the man who shows up wins. Stop caring how you feel. Act, execute, conquer. Because the man who shows up when no one's watching becomes the man everyone watches one day. When you're out there grinding in silence, the world thinks you've disappeared. But the truth is, you're evolving. You're becoming dangerous, not because you're loud, but because you're consistent. You're becoming unstoppable. Not because you never fall, but because you always rise. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them mock your discipline while they rot in comfort. Because one day, when they're still dreaming, you'll be living the life they prayed for. And it won't be luck. It'll be earned. Discipline doesn't need recognition. It doesn't beg for applause. It doesn't chase validation. It creates results. And results speak for themselves. You'll start noticing the shift when things that once broke you barely move you, when obstacles that once scared you now excite you, when pain becomes familiar, almost comforting because you know it means progress. That's the transformation. That's when you've become something greater than emotion. You've become unshakable. You'll walk differently, talk differently, think differently, because discipline rewires you. It forges you into someone who no longer asks, "What do I feel like doing?" but instead says, "What must be done?" Every morning, that question defines your future. Do you chase pleasure or progress? Do you seek comfort or command? Do you follow the fleeting or commit to the eternal? Most will never understand this path. They'll call you obsessed. They'll call you extreme. But what they don't see is that obsession is the price of freedom, and extremity is the cost of excellence. The disciplined man knows mediocrity is crowded. Everyone wants easy. Everyone wants balance. Few want greatness. Few are willing to suffer for it. That's why the top is lonely, but that's also why it's peaceful. Because at the top, there are no excuses, only results. No comfort, only clarity. No doubt, only discipline. You've got to learn to love the boredom, to find peace in repetition, to find pride in the grind. No one sees. Because success isn't built in bursts of motivation. It's built in the quiet hours when no one claps for you. And if you can love that the silence, the pain, the monotony, you can build anything. Understand this. Discipline isn't punishment. It's liberation. Every rep, every page, every grind is you taking your power back. It's you saying, I control my mind. My mind doesn't control me. The weak will call it burnout. The strong will call it purpose. And that's the difference. Because the man who is driven by discipline doesn't chase dopamine. He chases domination. He doesn't need external reward. His reward is internal respect. He doesn't seek praise. He seeks power. The kind of power that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you'll still move forward. Rain, pain, or failure, it doesn't matter. You execute. You've got to stop trying to feel good and start trying to be good. Good at what matters. Good at showing up. Good at staying consistent when others quit. Because one day, when everything feels like it's falling apart, discipline will be the only thing that keeps you standing. And that's when you'll realize it was never about motivation. It was about identity. You are either the man who acts or the man who hesitates. You are either the man who endures or the man who excuses. You are either the man who commands his mind or the man who obeys his emotions. There is no middle ground. The battle is daily, and it never ends. So stop waiting for peace. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. The storm is permanent. Learn to move through it. Move through fear. Move through pain. Move through doubt. Because movement itself is strength. Every step you take when you don't want to is a declaration, a message to the universe that says, I am not controlled by how I feel. I am controlled by who I decide to be. And the day that truth sinks in, the day you stop negotiating with your emotions, you become untouchable. The man who no longer needs to feel ready becomes dangerous. Because nothing can stop him. Not fatigue, not fear, not failure. He moves anyway. He acts anyway. He wins anyway. That's who you must become. A weapon of willpower. A force of focus, a machine of movement. When others slow down, you accelerate. When others complain, you adapt. When others quit, you rise. Because discipline isn't a phase, it's a lifestyle. It's not what you do sometimes, it's who you are all the time. So stop caring how you feel. You're not here to feel comfortable. You're here to conquer. Every day, every second. The choice remains the same. Submit to weakness or rise in strength. You decide, because at the end of it all, discipline wins. Always. Because once you understand discipline, everything else becomes simple. Not easier, but clearer. You stop wasting time chasing moods. You stop waiting for motivation to knock on your door. You stop living reactively and start living deliberately. Every day becomes a test of your will, your consistency, your patience. Most people fail, not because they're weak, but because they never commit to the test long enough to win. They start something, feel discomfort, and immediately run back to comfort, not realizing that discomfort was the doorway to transformation. Discipline is walking through that door again and again until fear loses its voice and pain becomes normal. You can't grow without suffering. You can't build anything meaningful without sacrifice. And the problem today is everyone wants results, but no one wants to bleed for them. Everyone wants success, but no one wants silence. No one wants the grind when the world forgets your name. But that's where real power is built, in the shadows. When you're alone, when no one's clapping, when your body aches and your mind screams to stop, that's when you build your foundation. Because when the lights finally hit you, you'll realize the world only sees the surface. They'll never understand the storms you walk through to stand there. You want peace, earn it. You want respect, prove it. You want greatness, bleed for it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Every moment you hesitate is stolen by the man who didn't. The world doesn't slow down for your feelings. It rewards those who act regardless of them. So act every single day. Show up even when it's hard. Show up especially when it's hard. Because if you can master yourself when things get hard, nothing and no one can stop you. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It's telling yourself, I deserve better, and proving it through consistent action. It's easy to talk about goals. It's easy to post quotes. It's easy to pretend you're grinding when no progress is being made. But the truth is in the mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects your habits. It exposes your discipline or lack of it. It shows whether you've been working or just wishing. And when you finally understand that you stop running from responsibility, you stop blaming luck, you stop waiting for the right time, you realize there is no right time. There's only time and what you do with it. The clock is always ticking. Every second is a decision. Every minute is an opportunity. You either waste it or you use it. Most people waste it scrolling, escaping, numbing their potential, because deep down they fear the pain that comes with growth. They fear discipline because discipline exposes their weakness. But if you want freedom, you have to face it. You have to look your weakness in the eye and say, you don't control me anymore. That's the moment everything changes. That's the moment you shift from being a victim to being a victor. Because discipline isn't a cage, it's the key. It doesn't restrict you. It releases you from your lesser self. It doesn't take your joy. It gives you purpose. You'll start to feel it. That strange sense of power that comes from self-control. When you say no to comfort. When you say no to the easy path. When you say no to the voice that says, take a break, you feel alive. Because you're no longer a prisoner of your emotions. You've taken your power back. And that power, that quiet, relentless power, will carry you further than any burst of motivation ever could. Discipline turns chaos into order. It turns noise into focus. It turns dreams into results. You'll stop seeking inspiration because you'll become the inspiration. You'll stop chasing motivation because you'll embody it. Your life becomes a message not through words, but through action. When people see you, they'll see the man who doesn't quit. They'll see the man who shows up no matter what. They'll see the man who built himself from discipline. And deep down, they'll wish they had your consistency. They'll wish they had your resolve. But they won't see the cost, the pain, the repetition, the loneliness, the sacrifice. Only you will know what it truly took. But that's the beauty of discipline. It doesn't need recognition. It doesn't need applause because you know what you endured. You know what you overcame. You know how many times you could have quit but didn't. That's pride, not arrogance, not ego. Pride in knowing that you stayed true to your mission when the rest gave up. And that's the kind of pride no one can take away from you. Because discipline doesn't just build results. It builds character. It shapes your soul. It transforms your mind. The man who lives by discipline becomes unshakable. He's calm under pressure, focused in chaos, steady when everyone else panics. Because discipline teaches you control, and control is power. Control over your reactions, control over your thoughts, control over your time, your energy, your direction. And that control, that mastery of self, is what separates kings from followers. So when you wake up tomorrow and that voice says, "Rest, take it easy, you've done enough," you remember, that voice has never built anything great. It's never lifted a weight, written a page, built a dream, or changed a life. Ignore it, silence it, replace it with action. Because discipline is the voice that says, "I don't care how I feel. I care about who I'm becoming." And every day you act on that truth, you carve a new identity, stronger, sharper, harder, until one day you look back and realize you've become the man you once dreamed of being, not because of luck, not because of emotion, but because of relentless, unbreakable, unapologetic discipline. So, stop caring how you feel. Start caring about what you build. Start caring about the standard you hold yourself to. Start caring about the legacy you leave behind. Because the truth is, your feelings come and go, but your legacy stays forever.